I had a spot on my right arm that I did not pay close enough attention to, and when I finally got to the doctor to have a screening, he did a biopsy, and it was the first melanoma that I'd had out of multiple skin cancers.
You don't think that it's something that can happen to you, or that it's something that, you can connect with, and you get a phone call, that you have this mutation and you have an 87% chance of having breast cancer. Like, that could happen to me. That is not an if, it's a when.
I had a cousin die very young of a very aggressive breast cancer, and my mother had 5 first cousins, and each family who had a girl, someone had breast cancer. So my sister and I were the only ones left, and I knew it would be me.
I first found the lump in my breast sitting on the couch next to my husband, watching our 3-year-old play. And I had gotten a new sports bra and a new heart monitor. And I was like, I have this, it really hurts here. Something's digging into me. And then I felt this, what was it, 7 millimeter mass?
I went to ear and nose doctor because I had Menil, and he just checked my throat and he said, I feel something. Can I do a biopsy? Right there he did it. He sent it, he called me, he said the follow-up is in 2-3 days, come back. And that's when he told me I had cancer. And I was like 47 with 3 kids. And it was like, I don't have time for this shit.
I feel better than I have ever felt in 7.5 years. I do have a recurrence. I have 13 pancreatic cancer tumors in my lungs. However, they're stable, and I chose personally to stop my chemotherapy a year ago, October. My oncologist recommended that we just go scan to scan. We started out at 6 weeks. Every 6 weeks I would have a scan, and they were stable. And I have been a year now without any chemotherapy, and my scans have been stable. So I'm just thankful, feeling much better without the chemo.
I first found out about my stage 3 rectal cancer about 2017 early. I had a coworker who's told me her son had colon cancer at 35, and opened my eyes. I immediately called the doctor, said, I want a colonoscopy. I said, you're 33, why are you getting it? I was like, well, I'll just be proactive on it. And took 6 weeks to get this colonoscopy scheduled, but as soon as it was, and they found out it was cancer, it was, one step after the next, going through chemo and radiation right away.
I was convinced that it was just fibroadenoma, that my mom had several when she was younger, and I chopped it up to that. I didn't think too much of it until I got the phone call that the biopsy came back and it was cancer.
I'll tell you, there's so many people with so many stories. Mine's just one story, and mine's kind of a fluky story. I think it's just, there's so many types, and we need so much money to find a cure for each type. It's not like you can just throw money at one thing and it fixes everything. It's, there's just so many out there, so the more support, the better.
When I got my diagnosis and when I started going through my treatment, I think it was always put before me that this is curable, this is survivable. And that's because people have already gone through that, and all the inroads that have already been made by the American Cancer Society, that they did all that before I got there. So even though it's a scary diagnosis, I think I kind of always thought, well, this is not going to be fun, but I'm going to get through it. And that's because of all the work that's already been done up to this point.
It was just real scary to know that you have something that can potentially kill you. So I did use some of the services from the American Cancer Society. I used the Buddy program. And that's a program where you can call and they'll pair you up with someone to talk to, or they'll tell you the different groups that's in your area that you can go to for other people that has cancer, or, other questions, or you just need a group of people to talk to.
The American Cancer Society helped me in my own journey tremendously. They are so very helpful. There's so much database of doctors that can help lead you through this and give you advice. And it's just a really important organization to support and to call on. Many people don't know you can call the American Society and ask to talk to a physician, and they will talk you through it. My doctors gave me so much faith and gave me reason to hope, and I asked my doctors not to tell me my prognosis. I said, I do not want to know that. You can tell my husband. So they told him, and years later I asked, and they had given me a year. And so here I am 9 years later, clean.
They say a lot about cancer patients, like it's your hope. People do better when they're hopeful. And when my first year, when I was diagnosed, I had a third opinion, and the doctor gave me a year to live. So being that it'll be 3 years in December, that's right there. I think the hope there, learning, walking with Christ has been my hope and my family's hope.
The Cancer Society's been doing this for a long time. They help women and men, but help women with so many issues that you don't even know are coming, like losing your hair and losing your breasts and what that can do to your self-esteem. And please donate money and help people who are really in need of these services be able to get them, because without services like this, people who are in need just unfortunately don't get diagnosed or try to do it by themselves and then give up, and it's a fight that's worth fighting.